Venus and Mars are the closest planets to us in the solar system. When Mars is in a very good position, it is only 55.6 million kilometers from Earth on its elliptical orbit, making it visible to the unaided eye in the night sky. As early as the 17th century, astronomers saw unusual activities on Mars. Because of the planet's changing color and Earth-like surface features, it was quickly believed that life existed there. Like Earth, Venus, and Mercury, Mars is a rocky planet. The outer planets that follow Mars are gas giants with an equatorial diameter of 6,800 kilometers. If you enjoy our videos, please show us some love by giving us a thumbs up. We look forward to seeing you in the future. At 12,800 kilometers in diameter, Mars is only roughly half the size of Earth. Although Mars and Earth are similar, the distribution of gases on Mars at the moment is very different. There is extremely little oxygen in the relatively thin atmosphere of the red planet. Mars receives a large amount of unfiltered cosmic radiation due to its thin atmosphere. Nevertheless, Mars and Earth share some astounding parallels. The narrative describes an invasion of Earth by Martians, and ever since, the myths and superstitions about both the Martians and life on Mars have ingrained themselves deeply into our collective consciousness. Using space probes for reconnaissance. The first unidentified space probes to Mars were sent by mankind approximately 80 years later. At that time, scientists had attempted to establish radio contact with potential relatives on Mars, but no response was ever received. Finally, in July 1976, the Viking 1 mission transmitted the first images from Mars's orbit. During the exploration, the planet's dry desert landscape became more apparent than one supporting life. However, the probe also sent pictures back to Earth that offered food for thought. Highlight number 1 was the face of Mars, a rock formation in the Cydonia region of the planet that genuinely had a human face-like appearance. The evidence of man-made structures and monuments on Mars led NASA to send the Mars Global Surveyor there for a closer look in 1996. Almost 2 years later, the whole UFO and extraterrestrial community was devastated to see the new high-resolution photos of the Mars face, which revealed that the face is actually a shapeless rock formation that was only made to appear that way by the angle of the view and the incidence of light. Other strange shapes that the orbiter was able to photograph included pyramids and rectangular buildings that scientists compared to the appearance of an Inca city. Nevertheless, the Mars Global Surveyor was the first spacecraft launched into orbit to look for extraterrestrial life. Although pictures of Mars, like its face, have been shown to be optical illusions, the search for Martian life goes on. The search for alien evidence on Mars never gets old for ufologists. Images from the more recent space probes can be found all over the internet. Now, let's return to the results from renowned scientists. Paraforcers occasionally claim to have identified the bones of a giant on Mars, and occasionally fresh Martian faces and Martians arise. Researchers were focused on 2 issues: elucidating the apparent structure and determining whether or not there is water on Mars. Since of the European Mars mission, you could also say that Mars is sweating, since it's probable that as its surface gets warm, liquid from the interior rises. 2018 could finally confirm, with the use of Georadar, that there is liquid water on Mars. With the help of information from Mars Express, a lake of roughly 20 kilometers in width was found in the planet's south pole. The liquid, most likely salty water, is concealed beneath a layer of ice that is 0.5 kilometers thick. Astronomers constructed a completely new picture of Mars's past, at least 3.6 billion years ago. The red planet is said to have had a warm and humid climate with numerous lakes and waterways. This could explain the leaching of the Martian troughs and other surface structures. Only later did the atmosphere disappear, and Mars finally dried up, indications of organic life already. Viking 1 delivered pictures in the 1970s that pointed to residues of organic structure. However, laboratory tests showed that such structures can also be produced purely chemically. Of course, it has long been clear that neither humanoid beings nor other more complex life forms can exist on Mars. Currently, researchers are looking for microorganisms such as unicellular organisms, primitive algae, or bacteria. After all these life forms once formed the basis for life, we know today, on Earth, new hope was provided by a rock from Mars. This reached the Earth in the form of a Mars meteorite. The rock, with the name ALF 84001, was found in Antarctica in 1984. It was not until 1996 that U.S. researchers thought they had found traces of fossil bacteria on the boulder. Later, however, it could be proven that similar structures can also be created chemically during its 6-year mission. Tell us your views in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, goodbye.